So first of all, thank you for coming by and letting me do this interview with you today. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
I guess first, if you could just give people an introduction about who you are and your band.
My name is Ophelia. I'm a vocalist for Arshenic.
Okay. And how did you and the band get together? How did everything start?
Well, that's an ancient history because I've started the band when I graduated from high school and I went to study journalism in Gdańsk. I started my first band there then, but the first squad of Arshenic really changed because we started it at 2007, but in 2008 Bartek came to the band, and in 2009, after recording our first album, first guitar player Peter was changed by Vlad, who is playing with me since now, till now. Yeah.
Okay. Um, I guess the first thing we should do is talk about this new album. It's, I really enjoy it. I like it a lot. Final Collision. Tell me a little bit about how the songwriting and the just kind of the selection, the music went down for this one.
Well, uh, when we started this band, we were playing for some time, but we had 2 years break in 2011, and we started 2012, I think. Well, we started to play again in 2015, and then Vlad came back to this band, and we decided to do this EP Erased. It has the song Grzyby that you really liked, the shrooms. So we decided after releasing this one, we'll be only releasing singles. That's why we recorded Monster and Unspoken, and we thought we're gonna just stay with it. So only one song in a while. But then we started our Instagram, and things kind of changed for us because people really liked those songs and they liked those music videos we did. And everything started spreading, and people started to play our music in their podcasts and in the radio station. So we thought, well, why not? Let's work on an album. And then we started to work on some new songs. We took the songs we already published, so Monster and Unspoken and Madness, which we had a live version before on YouTube, and we started to work on some new songs. But it was always such a chaotic way to write music. People, guys just gave us some ideas. We were working on rehearsal with it, but it wasn't like, one idea for this record. Then we thought, well, why not? Arsenic is a cure and a poison, so actually we can do it both ways. So we can add some lighter songs like Follow and Rabbit, and then some darker ideas for it. And we decided to go camping. We took our equipment, our studio equipment. We closed the door for 3 days, decided to do some music. So we were jamming, we were writing music, like boys were writing music. I was telling, no, this one, nope, nope, this idea, no, yeah, I like this one, do it, let's do this song. So we were working like this for 3 days, writing music, jamming, drinking, smoking, writing music. 3 days with a squad. So I remember the last day, Mark, our bass player, said, never again. He went home, and we stayed, the three of us, me, Bartek, and Vlad. And Vlad was in this zone. I knew he was so focused. He's writing something really special, so we didn't want to disturb him. We left. After 3 hours, he came back. He said, I'm done. But he didn't tell us what was he working on, because we were listening to it. And I remember hot afternoon, summer, July. I was sunbathing, reading some book, and then Vlad came to me with his guitar unplugged. He said, I got an idea, but I'm not sure. It's so nostalgic. I said, stop whining, just play me the song. And he started, and I fell in love with the song the second he just started to play. And this one was The Remorse.
Okay. Wow. And so it sounds like it was a really fun experience to make this album. Some
Yeah,
people, I think some people, for some people, it's a lot of work and it's like labor, but it seems like the best albums come out when it's fun and you enjoy it.
yeah, it was fun. It was fun gathering those ideas we had for this weekend, but there was a lot of work after that. So there were only ideas, and we had to prepare everything. It's always the same way we do it. Boys give me some idea, some scratch of a song. If I like it, I write a vocal melody and lyric for that, and after that, we have this general idea for the song. We play it on rehearsal and we change it, we add bridges, we add some solo stuff like that. So working on a song always lasts about 3 months, one song, and then we go to studio. I'm always 100% prepared for the studio because I record everything at home before we go to studio. I know everything how I want the song to sound. I add some vocals, some layers, stuff like that. So when I go to studio, I know what I want, so I'm a horrible person to work with because I even pick the tracks. They just leave everything, they just do the clicking, and I say, here, this one, this one, this one. Because if there would be anything in the vocals that I wouldn't like, I would go just crazy. So it's a lot of work.
Well, I've got to tell you that my favorite tracks on the new album are kind of right in the middle. I love Madness and I love Cold. I think they're kind of back to back in there. And sometimes it changes for me. I like other songs, but the last couple times I listened, they just really grabbed me. Anything special you can tell me about either one of those?
I'm really glad you picked those two because Madness is my favorite song ever to sing. I just love it. I love to sing it live, and the way it moves people, how it resonates with people, how they go into this kind of hypnosis. They just sway with it, and when this bridge comes, when I sing the slide vocals, and then this power comes and the lightning and stuff. You can see our live version from Thursday on YouTube. I uploaded yesterday, so the moment people hear it, they just freeze. And I absolutely know this moment. So this is my favorite actually song. And I think it is my favorite because also because of the lyric. And the lyric is the chorus is "I feel so alive," but this alive thing is not really because I'm so happy. It's like when you feel the pain, you know you're alive. So that's for me. That's what I meant. And the song is actually about dealing with depression because. I am dealing with depression since I was a teenager. So writing this song was like a treatment for me, and I guess that is why I really like the song, and I guess that's why people feel it also. This one. As for Cold, yeah, I like this song too. I was experimenting with vocals on this one, and I wanted to sound like monumental. I wanted to be like a big song, and this lyric is also very personal for me. It's about a dream that will never come true, and about missing something important in your life. So I guess those two songs are most emotional for me, and I hope for people who listen to it.
It's I enjoy so many things about rock, but I think when it comes down to it, I love vocals. I love when I hear a band and the vocals really inspire me. And for me, that's one of the things that Arshenic does. And I have to believe that you have had some sort of vocal training or education in your life because you have such a clean, pure voice. And I feel like you could probably sing just about anything.
Well, that is my goal. Yeah, to be honest, I was born in a musical family. My father is a multi-instrumentalist. He also sings, and my brother plays guitar. He sings. So music was just a way for us to have fun together. I remember when I was a baby, my father was reading me books. I remember him reading me E.T. And my brother was always playing guitar and sing for me. So that was the only way to make me go to sleep. So every time I was alone, my girlfriends were playing with dolls, and I was playing. I was acting on the big stages, so that was natural. I had my first vocal teacher when I was 7. I was in a vocal band in my school. Then, when I was 11, I had my first private vocal teacher. So he took me to some vocal contests, and surprisingly, I was doing really good with those. So I had better teachers every year. So I had vocal classes few hours every week, and I was practicing always in every free time. And so I had those teachers, better and better teachers. Every summer I was on vocal boot camps. So when I went to Gdańsk, when I moved here, I started to go to music school. So there was vocal training always for me. I stopped training when I was with the teacher when I was 22, because there was nothing else they could tell me about singing more, because I knew everything about biology of singing, everything about using diaphragm, other techniques, using your resonators, everything, generally everything they could teach me. So my last teacher was Melissa Cross. You might know her because she's an extreme vocalist teacher. So I had classes with her for my screams, and I also had teachers classes because when I started, when I graduated I got my diploma, yeah, from university. I decided to get some money from teaching other people. So I started to do some YouTube vlogs about singing, and then it just went almost viral for me. So people started calling me to teach them, and it went to the moment I had my vocal school. So I'm a vocal teacher right now. So I teach other people how to sing and how to scream, and I teach many rock and metal vocalists in my city. So vocal is my passion, and I try to evolve as much as I can, because to teach somebody how to sing, for example, like Ariana Grande, if they want it, I need to know how she does it, how she sings. So I need to, search for other things, search for different vocalists, and that is why I think I just get everything I hear and try to make it for my own vocals. That's how I do it.
Let me ask you, was screaming difficult to learn? Because anybody can scream, but to be able to scream well, I think takes some work.
Well, screaming is tough thing if you haven't got any vocal experience before, because screaming is actually using your diaphragm and proper emission of a voice. If you don't have this ability to use your diaphragm, then you only hurt your throat. I have lots of people that come to me that they say they ruined their throat because they wasn't using the proper technique. And after that, after you get it, there's another tiny little detail, because you cannot scream if you don't have a reason to scream. So if you just want to scream because you like it, because it sounds good, you won't be a good screamer. If you have this inner aggression in you, then it's really easier to scream. That's my tip.
All right, let's switch over a little bit to your live performances. I know that you tour, I think, as much as you can. I love seeing your live videos on your YouTube channel and Instagram. Um, is that something you really enjoy doing? Just, pure live performing?
I do. I really do love it. But mostly I love it when we can perform in bigger clubs, when I have a big stage, because I'm really lively person. I really like to move, dance, and jump on the stage. So when we don't have enough space for ourselves, then I'm so sad, and I feel like I'm caged. So we only try to perform in those bigger clubs. So that's why it's not totally easy for us, because those clubs are expensive, and it's always expensive to go somewhere in Poland or abroad, so we don't do many concerts right now, and we don't have a manager. That's why it's tougher for us. But when we do concerts, I really love it. We had this tour last week. We did 3 concerts in a row, and it was tiring, really exhausting, but it was so much fun.
Um, I noticed that you also like to put kind of behind the scenes videos on your channel of, I guess, either practicing or working on material. Why do you choose to do that? I like it, but what makes you want to put those videos out there?
Well, it's really it's hard for us to spread our music because there is a lot of music there, and there's a lot of great music, but also not really great music. So showing yourself when you want to be a band that's international, like we would want to, then you have to do something to engage people who would listen to you. So I'm having a lot of friends on Instagram, and I really appreciate the support people gave us. Like when you comment on our photos or our stories, I really like it. So if somebody asks me what are you doing, then it's easier for me to show them. Oh yeah, we're here and we're doing things. I don't know, wicked things because we are strange, but it's easier for us to just show it. And why not? If we're having fun, let's have fun together. That's why I'm doing those.
Good. Well, I enjoy them. I think other people probably do as well. Um, so I think, is your dream to be able to, travel, I guess, kind of the world touring? I would love at some point for you to come to the US so I can see you, but I know that takes time to build up a tour like that.
I guess so. There's one man that told us he will help us to get on US tour, and he's actually working on it right now. So time will show if we're gonna be there. I would love to. I would love to tour. I would love to get out of Poland for some gigs, and I hope it will be like that. For me, my biggest dream is just to perform on biggest music festivals. I would just love to be a part of it. Would love to perform for a great crowd. That is my dream. Not I don't know, not just being on a tour, any tour, but those biggest festivals are my biggest dream.
Yeah, they're so much fun. I love going to those festivals. You get to see so many great bands, and it's an experience. It's not just music.
Yeah.
So I guess a little bit more. What are some of your influences musically? Maybe some of the band's other influences. When I listen to you, I hear, I hear some classic heavy metal influences. I also hear some progressive influences. So I guess specifically, what are you influenced by?
Well, what you hear is not only what I listen to, but the thing is, all of us listen to something totally different. Bartek, my husband and a drummer, he used to listen only to punk music. So now he's listening to hip hop, trying to kill me, I think. But Vlad is listening to death metal and some black metal and metalcore, and I'm listening to a bunch of stuff. If you would see my playlist, you wouldn't believe that's one person's playlist because there's everything on it. I love some classics, but like jazz classic, blues classics. I love Elvis. I have, I think, 15 or 17 vinyl albums of Elvis. I'm an addict. And I love Etta James. I love Nina Simone. I love those vocals. But I also, I have those phases when I listen to some band or some genre for just in a loop for a month or something. And I think I listened everything in that genre and I go to something different. That is why you can hear many different stuff in my vocals. But I really like lots of music. Now, actually, I'm on progressive metal, yeah, and I listen tons of songs of Katatonia and Deftones. I like this one Polish band, Votum. and lots of music on Spotify mostly. But I also I really love In This Moment and Ghost and Slipknot, because who doesn't love Corey Taylor? You know, there are lots of different styles that I like.
Okay, that's good. I think that comes through in the music as well. You love to hear when a band is influenced by so many different things and they still have their own original sound. You don't get lost in your influences, I think, that way.
I think that's a way of being an adult in music, because when you're a young musician, then you get inspired by something, and you can get lost between doing your own stuff and copying someone. It's really important to know who you are when you're making music. That's what I think right now. If you know who you are and you know what you want to tell people and how do you want to tell it, then it's easier to do your own stuff. Because even if you're if you're listening to different music, then you will always make it your own way, and you will always show the way you are in this particular style.
Good. Well, I guess one last little question here. Right now, being involved in YouTube like I am, I hear a lot of people, there's a discussion about should we be talking about female-fronted bands as a category, or is that singling somebody out in the wrong way? Personally, for me, I don't think you can just lump male and female vocals together because there is a difference. Um, but it doesn't mean that they should be judged differently, I think. What are your thoughts on that category, I guess?
Well, I think it's more political. Yeah, I don't want to get into it. Um, well, I don't think there's something bad in female-fronted bands like a label. Because, yeah, like you said, there is a big difference between a male-fronted and female-fronted, because we are not the same. We feel differently. We express our feelings differently, mostly. So, I don't have anything against being labeled as female-fronted band, and I don't feel offended by it because I am a female. And to be honest, I am this alpha female of my band. So guys just do what I tell them, and they follow me, and I love them for it because they are with me 100%, and they are not offended by it that I am the one who's has this final word. So if any women have problem with it, then that's their personal feeling, just like that.
Sure. Well, anything else that you'd like to tell us about anything coming up for you or anything we missed today?
We'll be releasing this acoustic version of the same words soon. We were supposed to do that a few months ago because we've recorded in this summer, but well, we have lots of on our minds, so we'll be releasing this one on Spotify soon. So if you're not on our YouTube channel or Spotify channel or whatever, check it out. It's a really nice version. It's like a ballad, but a bit folkish with my typical vocals, you know, kind of like cold. So I'm sure you're gonna like it.
All right. Well, thank you again for coming by for this interview. I really appreciate it. I wish you well, and definitely hope to see you in the US at some point to see you live.
Thank you. Thank you very much for talking to me.